Well, we are meeting here now from Finnish lags and network units and Swedish at the very spot where lots of refugees are coming through Sweden, wanting to enter Finland. And at the same time, we have lots of refugees coming to Sweden as well. And talking about this, then, refugees and immigrants, we have lots of people moving from rural areas. So we're losing inhabitants. And at the same time, we have these people knocking at the door saying, we want to come into your countries. Can the leader method and CLLD be a solution, one of them, or what role? Let's put it in that way. What role can we see that leader lags can have in this receiving refugees? And what are your thoughts about that? Petri.
Yeah, if I will start from the very practical LAC manager point of view, we have a refugee center in our LAC territory between Åbo, Tammerfors and Björneborg, the rural area. And we've been receiving hundreds of refugees there since 1990s already. And the local action group has been helping them to integrate in the rural society of Finland. And this work needs to be long-term. It needs to have enough time for the newcomers to settle down in the rural area. And also very important what we have seen is that if these comers are used to live in countryside in their own countries, like we get people from Myanmar, for example, it's much easier to integrate them compared to people from Baghdad who are used to a big multi-million city. So basically what leader funds have been supporting is immigration coordinator in one of our rural municipalities that otherwise would be losing the population slowly. So they think that it's a blessing for us, new people in sparsely populated Finnish countryside.
But I must say that your area, Petri, it's exception because I believe in overall we have had two leader projects touching with integration and integration issues, and this is a new surprising subject for the Finnish rural areas overall. So we are in the totally new situation, and that's why. We are very interested what is happening, for example, in Sweden, because you have had in your rural development strategies this integration and immigration already, at least previous program period. So that's why we desperately need your experiences and your good examples in Finland, because like I said, you have a good example, we have another like area, they have some example, but overall it's a new thing for the rural Finnish areas.
But Lovisa, you have been working in the thematic working group for integration in Sweden as a chairman for a long time, so you must have some points there.
One of the most important things is to get the civil society on board this train to work together as one unit with the migration boards and with the immigrants, so they can be a part in a natural way in society. There's not we against them, it's us together for the community that we're living in. And that's one of the most important things that we have learned during this program, that we need to work together as one. And to talk to people. They're persons just like us. Talk to them, ask them what are they about to do, what are they thinking about this country, what do they want to do with their time here.
Peter, yeah, you wrote something or have been writing an article about this.
Well, yes, but first of all, I like to say that this taking care of the refugees, it is kind of a duty. It's a humanitarian duty that we should fulfill, and that is, I think, the most important thing. But that said, it is also, as I see it, a big chance for rural areas to get new inhabitants, which we are lacking. And if you put it very in a very hard way, you could say that many rural areas faces the possibility of taking this challenge with all the problems and things that comes along with it. We shall not deny that. Or we could, those societies can die in peace. I think it is a challenge that rural areas has to take and need to do the best they can. Also, it is, I like to point out, as already was said, that it's a long process, especially when we're talking about rural movement, emphasizing this local society, tradition and so on, needs to be done work for a very long time.
I live in an area where the political parties that are very much against immigration, they are very strong in rural areas, and it's said that many rural areas are more negative and more conservative and so. But in my view, then the leader method with a partnership for all sectors of society could be one of the strongest tools and best tools to use, because when people are immigrants, they are a figure, they are a number. 10 more immigrants, refugees. But when they get a name and maybe a history that you know a little bit about, it's a human being, then it's a friend. Then I'm ready for inclusion and integration. So I think using the leader network, the local network of the leader is really a key issue to make these people friends and make them individuals and human beings. And in that way I think we can strengthen quite a lot the integration and inclusion. Let's say inclusion.
I totally agree, and I come from also a small municipality with only 2,000 inhabitants, and next Monday we will have 200 refugees in our small municipality, and it's a totally new situation, and I think the leader approach and leader project could be an icebreaker between the ones who have been living there for ages, tens of years, and now with these newcomers. And that's what I'm hoping from our LAC, that, and of course our municipality, and good cooperation between the LAC and the municipality.
Yeah. And what we heard from the Swedish colleague is that civil society really is in a key role in this process, and what our immigrant coordinator has been doing since the beginning is to activate the NGOs, village development associations and others, 4H and other organizations to work with immigrants. And this is something we need to continue to do, and also agree with Peter Pakka was just saying about the general humanity issue that we see here. But at the same time, in 2025, we need to point half of our professional school graduates to work for the health sector if we want to fulfill all the health sector jobs needed in Finland, and that's impossible without people coming into our country. Also, the Finnish emigration rates have been very high over the past few years, so we need to have people coming in when somebody's are going out. Yeah.
What about the social fund? We have the multi-fund solution in Sweden for the lags, so they can even integrate the social fund, regional fund and fisheries fund in their strategies. In Finland, it's not exactly the same, but your lags can apply from the social fund. So is that using the social fund for some of the activities? I think that could be one of the kind of tools we can use. What do you say about that? Yeah, comment.
Yes, I think it in some cases it definitely will be a good opportunity, but at the same time I don't think you can generalize this. I think you need to look at every place differently and kind of tailor make the solutions and the funds that is needed to develop what needs to be developed. And I also like to stress that it is very important that the local people really has a say about how this is done, because otherwise it will be so difficult, because we are talking about people open up their village, their home to newcomers. If they don't have a say about that, then it will not be a good result.
But I must say that this, again, it's a proof that flexible CLLD is needed, which combines all these possibilities. Because for the villagers, it doesn't make any difference where the money comes, but we should have a flexible system to develop the situation and break the ice there in the villages with a new situation.
But this. We're very much talking about the soft values of humanity and creating a welcoming atmosphere and so on. But also, people coming in need jobs. They need housing, and very concrete things. Can we do something there also, or is that a task for other actors? Have you done anything to create jobs or provide or matchmaking or so?
It's been some matchmaking projects, and that's one of the most important things, that to match people up what they want to do. Once again, it's people that are coming, these persons, and together with the villagers, they need to have this conversation. I think we need to ask them, and that's what CLLD is all about for us, to work from the bottom up, not the other way. And yes, we have worked with that, and in this group we're in the integrations group, we're working about to get the settlements. How do we get apartments and other stuffs at the countryside?
Yeah, it's surprising how basically you need to start explaining things that we have here in Europe. For example, people who come straight from Thailand refugee camps, these Myanmar people in our case, they don't necessarily know what is a bed. They don't know that you are sleeping in a bed in Finland, or what is electricity. So once you start going up that hierarchy, then you start talking about job and how to get your income and things like this. So like Peter also was saying, it's a long process to get there. But there has been this job-seeking element in our project too. And the local farmers, for example, who are in need of seasonal work, they have been very happy offering these positions to the local refugee people. And they need this workforce. Otherwise, they would need to get it somewhere else, across the Finnish borders. But when these refugees happen to be there, it's their labor resource at the same time.
But we have also the reverse situation. We used to say that in Sweden we have the best educated taxi drivers, because they are engineers, architects, doctors, and so on. And I just the other day talked with a friend of mine, and at her school there was a janitor cleaning the all the rooms and so on, and he was doing such a good work. And she talked with him. Well, I'm a doctor from Syria, but I have to have a work before my license is due. So we have to match all these resources. They are resourceful people also in many views. So yeah, we have a challenge.
We have a challenge, but speaking about the housing, so I think that's at least in our rural areas, so it's a way better situation than in cities. So there are places for the newcomers. In that way, I feel that the integration in the rural areas could be even easier for the newcomers. But you certainly have a experience on that in Sweden, and that would be again nice to share.
Yeah, we will have to continue this discussion, but I think in front of the camera our time is out. So but we will continue for sure. Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot.